Hello. So I stopped this morning to share an object lesson with you that I got from this sports bra. I'm gonna call this Motivation Monday, but before I get into that, I just want to take this opportunity to let you know that I have not completely abandoned my podcast program. I'm just taking a little break and revamp, if you will, go back to the drawing board to see how I can go about it better, how I can make it more appealing, more engaging, if you will. And so when I'm ready to come again, I really hope I still have your ears. But this morning when I was getting ready to go jogging, because I jog close to the water Monday, Wednesdays, and perhaps jump rope the other days for cardio, and then there's this app on my phone that I use to do my toning, whether upper body, lower body. So this morning when I took this sports bra out, FYI on this sports bra, I bought it over 2 years now while living in the US. 6 months after buying it, I noticed it began breaking in the back. Specifically because when I bought it, it was a little smaller than I expected. So for every time I wear it, I have to dance in it a little bit for it to come down. So shortly after I bought it, it began breaking. And you must be wondering why you haven't sewn it. And I'm asking myself this very same question this morning when I decided to share this object lesson. Because it has been over a year since this bra has been holding up on this thin cord. A very long time. Because I do have needle and thread. And I sew things from time to time. But for some reason, every week, because I work out 3, sometimes 4 times for the week, and I wear this one time each week, and every time I put it on, I'm consciously thinking, this could be the morning this breaks. And so this specific morning, this morning, I thought of God's grace, His patience, His long suffering on the matters in my life that are hanging on a very thin cord. Some of us are in situations that are hanging on a very thin cord. Your diet. You know that the way you're eating could at any moment bring diabetes or high blood pressure or cancer. We know the type of eating that produces what. We have a weakness. Perhaps you're diabetic and you know you're not supposed to eat certain things, or you're supposed to eat at a certain time. You're hanging on a very thin cord. At any moment, things could break. You don't want to break. And God has been bearing for a very long time regarding that matter. You're in a relationship that you have been in for a very long time. God might have ordained it. You have been through some good times, but of late, you have been at each other's throat. You have been unkind with your words and your thought processes. You have been malicious with how you treat your partner because of past occurrences, because of lack of unforgiveness. And deep in your heart, perhaps your spouse feels the very same way. You're hanging on a very thin cord, and at any moment things could break. But I tell you, it doesn't have to break. Change begins in the mind. All it takes is a change in the thought process. And then when we change how we think, because I'm speaking to myself, when we change how we think, then our words take a different shape. Not only what we say, but how we say it. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the how. We have to work on what we say and how we say it. And then ultimately our behavior will change. Because behavior is shaped originally from thought process, how we speak, and then how we respond. So I thought about my life this morning. I said, God, this bra has been hanging so long. You have been bearing with me for a very long time with old ways. In Jamaica, they would say, when parents talk to their kids about one thing over and over. The parents would say, you give me so much talking. My mother would say, you give me so much talking, which means they talk about the same things over and over. I said, God, I've given you so much talking. And you're bearing with me. You have been bearing with me. You have been so patient, so merciful, so kind, so long-suffering, so forbearing. It's just last Saturday evening, I watched a program. Well, Dennis and I, we sat and watched a program that dealt with kindness and forbearance. And the presenter was alluding that kindness is really the duty of the wife, and forbearance the duty of the man, even though both should display both characteristics. He's saying that it's the man's primary duty to be forbearing with the woman, with the wife, tolerant, patient, long-suffering, and it's the wife's duty to be kind in how she speaks, and both of them will create harmony in the home. And he made reference to a book Ellen G. White's writing. Anyways, that's beside the point. But I thought about that too, that program that I watched last weekend. And I said, God, I feel like I'm hanging on a very thin cord in my life with the things that have been going on over and over. And I long for a change. I know I'm not speaking to myself. I know you can relate that there are things in your life. Maybe it's one particular thing or things in your life that have been going on over and over. And it's like you feel like you're hanging on a very thin cord. Perhaps you're in a relationship that you're not supposed to be in. And you know, at any moment things could break. And when it breaks, it's not going to be very pretty. But you're in it because of benefit, whether it be financially or you believe you have hope for this person will be yours one day. But if you know deep down in your gut this person is not for you, chances are he or she is not for you. You're hanging on a very thin cord. This thin cord is God's waiting on you, God's patience with you to make that decision that you know is right. Don't get me wrong, I know about strongholds. We all have history. We all have a past. I know about being in something and don't know what move to make or what to do to get out of something. So God is not concerned about you trying to fix everything on your own. What he's concerned about is that decision in your mind and that desire for change, that desire for right doing. And once you make that first step, he will do the rest. I guarantee you, he will do the rest. He just needs us to operate from a sincere place, from an honest place. You're on the job, you're at work, or you're in a particular circle and you're doing stuff that are illegal or that works against every fiber that you know to be right, that goes against your upbringing, who your family is, the people that brought you up, the people that look up to you. You're doing stuff for the benefit of money, that it serves you well. But I tell you, at any moment, the cord could break. And God does not want you to break. God does not want you to get in the kind of trouble or face the kind of shame that this broken cord will produce. God is trying to spare you from that. And so he has been bearing long with you and waiting on you to make that turn, to mend quickly what can become a very ugly situation, what can become a very exposing situation. God is very long-suffering, very kind. We may not acknowledge it, we may not take the time to realize it, but we are under the watchful care of a kind and merciful God. I'm speaking to myself. Look at what in your life that is hanging on a very thin cord and address it before your life takes on a different level that brings you into a place of despair. God was saying to me when I thought about it, you're doing too much, Nadine. You're going ahead of me. I do not need your help. I need for you to wait on me. I need for you to be humble. How did I know he said this? So after I came in from jogging, And I was resting on my yoga mat a little bit before I get into the lower body. V-Shred. The program that I use on my phone is called V-Shred. And so I was resting a little bit and I said, I need a word. Now on my nightstand is a box with daily verses. It was given to me by my friend Dennis. He bought it with German text, Bible text, because he thought that this would help me to improve on my German language. And so I decided to pull from this box. I don't religiously pull from it every morning, but this morning I felt like I needed something from that box. Mark you, I read otherwise, but this morning I said, I need something. And so I put my hand in the box. I said, God, put my hand on the very verse that is relevant to me this morning. And I pulled from the box, and 1 Peter 5 verse 6 was the text that came to me. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and he will exalt you in due time. Whatever you're fighting for, whatever you desire, it will come to you. You don't have to fight for it. You're fighting too much. Many of us are fighting spiritual battles in the flesh. We lose. We cannot fight spiritual battles in the flesh. We need God to fight that, because he sees what we cannot see. And he knows way more than us. And that is saying to me, you just need to pray and be still. You just need to pray and zip it. You just need to pray and talk less. And just bear. And pray through things. Sing through things. Sing through your situation. And let God fight in the back end, because this here means that God is always working. This here means that God has been working for my good, for your good. And he does not want us to break. He does not want us to experience pain. Because if this break, it's not going to be pretty. You have children, young children. And if your marriage breaks, it's not going to be pretty. And mark you, the times that we're living in now, it's better to cohabitate and share than live separate. It's easy to share what we have with each other. We thrive better that way. We survive better that way. That's why the Bible says 2 is better than 1. When one is cold, there's somebody to warm the other person. Somebody falls, there's somebody to pick up the other person. Both of you cannot be on the floor. God, help us. Both of us cannot be on the floor. So that's my encouragement to us this morning, myself, you, Motivation Monday. Whatever it is in your life right now that you know is hanging on a thin cord, address it. Address it before it's broken. I think I might sow this now. Now that it come to me consciously that I can sow it, because as much as it's a little smaller than what I expected, it has been working out for me all this time. And so do have yourself a wonderful Monday. And if you have watched this at the end of your day, I hope your day went as expected. And if it didn't, there's another day. There's always another chance. Take care.